After covering all the defending basics of FC24, and I have linked those videos in the description, check them out. Today, we're gonna learn what you should do while defending with different players. In general, it's about defending with purpose. So drop that like button, and we start. Visit u7buy.com and get some cheap, safe, and reliable FC coins, and get yourself Team of the Year the 97 overpowered Erling Haaland. Use the discount code DRFC for 6% off, link in the description. Have you ever wondered why pro players always seem to understand what to defend in almost every situation? It's all about mastering the defense purpose concept and also being disciplined. We have 4 defense purpose to fulfill in order for your defense to be solid. And let's go order by order, understanding which defense purpose you should fulfill first and last. So let's begin. Now here we start, in this clip. If the opponent has the ball like here, what is the quickest way he can move forward? When we analyze the situation, what is the quickest way the opponent can get the ball forward? You guessed it right, passing the ball to this forward open player. So when defending, you have to fulfill the defense purpose according to the way the opponent can get forward quickly. And so cutting forward passes is the first defense purpose you have to fulfill first. Everyone wants to get forward as easy as possible, and the quickest way is to pass the ball forward. But if you're always cutting these forward passing options, you intercept many passes and win the ball back in that manner, because a lot of average opponents will always pass the ball forward. And even if the opponent is good enough and reads the situation, he will not force this pass. But still, you're giving him hard time to build up. He have to try other tricks in order for him to get forward. So prioritize forward open passes. I'm not saying that you don't deal with side passes. No. Sometimes you have to also cut side passes. But remember, the dangerous options will always be that option the opponent can use to easily get forward. Now back to this clip. So now there's no forward open pass. How can the opponent get forward? As you see, dribbling and exploit the space is the only way. If there's no open passing lane forward, the opponent can decide to exploit the space in front if it's available. But here we have 2 spaces available, this forward space and this side space. And as you know, moving forward is the key. So closing up this forward space is our next defense purpose to fulfill. Sometimes the opponent will have that open free space towards your goal, no forward passing option but space. And so that's your defense purpose you have to fulfill. Understanding how to close your space is very simple. You just need to observe the opponent's actions. To which direction is this ball holder facing? If he's facing towards the space, then the opponent is most likely to drive towards that space. And also the actions. If he's fully committed to drive to that space, then sprint and cover that space. If the opponent tries to force through, you will win the ball. Back to the clip. Now there's no any open forward pass, no space in front, and now your defender is close to this ball holder. So here I think now many of you guessed the next defense purpose, pressure. If you have covered all the options, then that's the moment you approach this ball holder and apply pressure. Some players make a big mistake of applying pressure to the ball holder without fulfilling other defense purposes first. Here good opponents will take the advantage of the available options and beat your pressure. So to make sure you always defend with purpose, first fulfill other purposes, then you apply pressure and defend one-on-one. Now after learning the basic defense purposes, let's look at the advanced way you can use them to defend. Some good opponents will always try different ways to deal with your defense actions. In a way that if you cut that forward passing lane, he will dribble. And if you approach to apply pressure, he will move away and dodge that pressure. This is possible only if you give the opponent too much time on the ball. As the defender, you have to react and defend, fulfilling multiple purposes at the same time. And beginning with cutting passing lanes as the first purpose. And after you apply pressure, you can block that passing lane. Then you immediately approach this ball holder and apply pressure. This is only possible if your defender is not too far away from this ball holder. Some players will see that you're cutting the forward pass, and so they take their time, and that's when you surprise by applying pressure to this ball holder. Another one is to cover the front space and then cut the open forward passing lane. Just know that when fulfilling the defense purposes, you don't stick at one purpose like covering the space. Here the opponent, if is good, he will look for other options, like open passes. So after covering that space, you have to cut any forward passing lane. If the opponent is attacking with one isolated player having that space to exploit. So when you cover that space, he will be forced to turn back. In that moment, his teammates will have reached and joined that attack, and he will try to use them. So after covering that space, cut that passing lane. Another one is to cover that front space and then press the ball holder. As I said, you don't stick to one purpose. If you cover that space and the opponent has any forward open pass, then that's the moment you approach and defend one-on-one against this player with the ball. But sometimes it can be difficult to fulfill multiple purposes if the opponent is very good at reacting to your defensive moves. When you cut the pass, he dribbles, and when you approach to apply pressure, he turns away or pass to any other passing options. Dealing with such opponents, you have to consider using a powerful defensive tool, which enables you to fulfill multiple purposes at the same time. And that's what our next video is about. Drop that like button if you liked the video. Thanks for watching.